Welcome into Jets Nation Radio. How you doing there, Sam?
Oh, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Went to Minnedosa last night.
Had a good time at Rockin' the Fields last night. Lots of
time.
fun. Finger 11, my goodness.
Great band.
Oh, just unbelievable show.
And that big old thunderstorm on the way home, too.
Yeah, it was fun to drive through. Well, luckily neither of us had to drive, but...
we could not have driven.
No,
would have broken a lot of laws.
That would not have been good.
No.
Turn that down a little
Just
bit.
a little bit, yeah. That way we don't break anyone's speakers.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry about your ears for the first 20 seconds there, folks.
Just the people listening.
Yeah.
If you're watching, you're fine.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. So yeah, I mean, we're in the dog days of summer. It's not a whole lot has happened in the last week. We got the PLD interview.
Yeah, I guess the signing had already happened, but we got to see his presser.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I think he was as honest as one could be. He's not taking it too hard, and I mean, he got grilled by the media.
He did get grilled. I was surprised because Winnipeg media normally just like rolls over and I mean, a lot of the time, every time they interview Blake Wheeler, they'll ask one tough question. He gets moody, and then they just back off and don't ask anything important. Yeah. So
PLD got moody, and they just kept pressing. So I
don't even think he got moody. I thought he handled that tremendously. Quite frankly,
yeah.
I thought he answered the questions honestly, and I liked his answer to I think it was Scott Billick's question, trying to say that he was dancing around the answers, and PLD's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an answer now, but I might feel different down the road, so why would I give you an answer that could change? So I think he handled that very well.
Yeah, I liked he took a lot of that off the chin and acted like a responsible adult. And, like, you don't want to give too much away as an NHLer either. Like, I think, I think what every guy that was drafted in that 2016, even the 2017 draft, they're all going to be pulling this kind of stunt where it's like, I'm going to sign for 1 or 2 years, get paid, and then when the cap starts to go up, they're going to start looking for bigger money. So it's like, I don't blame you. You don't want to get stuck getting paid $6 million and when some scrub's making, $100,000 less.
Yeah, and I think he also had a good point about saying, like, yes, he doesn't, or the team doesn't owe him anything, but he also doesn't owe the team anything. He's like, some guys sign long-term. They sign an 8-year contract and get traded 2 years into it. Some guys, like Johnny Gaudreau or John Tavares, just leave the organization when they get the chance with nothing coming back. So, at least he told the organization that was his plan, so now they have a heads up. I personally think maybe doing it behind closed doors, so that organization still at least has leverage in some trades. But I don't think his agent handled it well, but I think he personally handled it quite well.
Like for being, 24, 23?
24.
Yeah, he's a young guy. He's a little bit younger than me. I think he's right around your age.
I mean, you're younger than me, yeah.
Yeah, he took it like a champion, because if I was getting pressed like that, I just would have told everyone to piss off. And you know what? This interview is
That's
over.
why you're sitting here.
So I get to be behind this mic.
One of many reasons.
Else I can't play hockey worth a damn, so there's a reason why he gets 6 schmil and I get this. But no, overall, I'm still happy with Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think he did what he needed to do.
I still hope he ends up in Winnipeg long term. I think all he cares about is winning, so I hope the Jets can do that, obviously, and I hope that helps convince him to stay longer term. Yeah,
honestly, I really hope that he sticks around, but at the same time, that kind of a grilling, and just the way people responded, like, are we still going to boo Pierre-Luc Dubois? Like, what do you mean you're going to be booing that guy?
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I worry that they were almost too harsh on him, and that might chase him away just as much as, but, I mean, the Montreal media is going to be way worse than the Winnipeg media.
Yeah, there's like four real media guys in Winnipeg, and
yeah, it's
especially
if you're the French player who wanted to get traded there, and there was all this hype around it. If you have a year like you did the first year you were with the Jets, they're not going to be very good.
They're not going to like you.
Not that Winnipeg media particularly was, but I think the fans and definitely the team stood behind him.
Yeah, the team definitely stood behind him. I was very critical of Pierre-Luc Dubois that first season, just because we lost Line and Roslovic, and I was like, if Pierre-Luc Dubois was playing like he did last year with that first-year team, I was like, ooh, we could have gone deep into the playoffs, but it didn't happen.
I also think, taking a look back at it and just, looking at the broader picture, he had COVID right before the season started, I believe. So it was in isolation. Then he played a couple games, and then came to Winnipeg, was in isolation, got hurt. So, like, when other guys had played, like, 30 games, he had played, like, 4. And his game is just being the most in-shape person on the ice.
Yeah.
And just pushing people around. And he couldn't do that when he wasn't in the right shape, which was that first year.
Yeah. And again, we can't blame him, and I was hard on him, and I'm sorry, Pierre, if you're listening. But, yeah, no, I'm still happy he's sticking around for, 2 more years, probably.
Well, at least one. We'll see what happens.
He's still an RFA after this one, so...
Yeah, but you never know if the Jets aren't in a playoff spot come trade deadline, that might be a good time for Chevy to try and move him, because you could move him to a team that, like, it's more than a rental.
Yeah.
It's not a guy that's going to walk away at the end of the season, because you still do have that team control, and it might be a 1.5 year rental, but it's still, you have that extra year.
Yeah, you still got a decent rental on Pierre, so we'll see what happens. This season coming up, I know it's still a long ways away, but I'm getting a little bit more excited.
I'm excited for it.
I know. And so I've been asking people what do they think of the forward situation. A lot of people are still upset that we've lost Stas and Svetch, and it doesn't seem like the needle has moved a whole lot for that forward group.
Yeah, looking at it from where we are now, like a few weeks ago, I was thinking, well, they couldn't have qualified Svetch because he would have gone to arbitration and it would have handcuffed them as far as salary cap goes. Looking at it now with how much salary cap they still have open, they probably could have done it, but maybe they just didn't see that kind of value in Svechnikov.
That's fair. You don't want to get handcuffed to a guy that's average. And then, Stas, the guy wants to go win a cup. I'm not going to be we lost Stas. And you got 2 solid years out of Stas. And
a solid playoff run before that.
And that, too. You can't ever forget about that playoff run. So it is what it is. I think the young guys are going to step up this year, especially if there's equal playing time. I'm
so excited to see what Cole Perfetti can do. I hope he can be healthy come camp. And I'm looking forward to seeing
how many points from Perfetti if we get let's just say 65 games minimum out of him.
That's a tough one. What did he have?
I think it is 15 or 17 games last year. Did he even hit that?
Let's see, where is he here?
But it felt like he was getting close to a point a game at one point.
He had 7 points in 18 games, but he was starting to come into his stride later as he started playing with Connor and Dubois. So I think it depends on how he's used. And also with a new system that is likely going to be more of a defensive system, you never quite know when it comes to point totals. But I could see him putting up 15 to 20 goals and 30 assists.
50 points on the season. I can get behind
for a
that.
Second-year guy, but I could even see him doing 10 goals and 40 assists. Because he's such a good passer, he's such a smart hockey player, and if he's playing with Kyle Connor all year, even if he gets maybe even a little chance on the power play, he can move the puck.
He's a great passer.
Well, look at the World Juniors at Christmas this year, the 2 games. He and Owen Power were just both they were just destroying everyone.
Yeah, it was phenomenal watching those two, and it's there's a little bit of me. It's dang, I wish we could have somehow got Owen Power out this way. I know it's impossible, but to have that kind of magic between those two,
I don't know if he's a player worth having a first overall pick season the year before. A Connor Bedard, I could go through a really tough a 20 win season, or what, I don't even know, 15 win season for the Jets if it meant Connor Bedard was coming. But for Owen Power's really good, I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Nugent Hopkins of that was that kind of a year where it wasn't oh wow, my mind is blown, but it's
who's going first overall, but you look at it and go oh, if he had gone a year earlier, he wouldn't be first overall. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But he's still going to be a fine player.
He's going to be an unreal defenseman.
Yeah,
no question about it. But I don't think he turns around a franchise like a player like Connor Bedard could potentially do.
Well, what was it? He didn't play last year, so we got our first year of Owen Power in the NHL. We'll see what
I think he got a few games towards the end of the year, maybe.
No, I think that he spent his year in college. So I thought that.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to Buffalo a whole lot.
I will now because Eric
called me. Yeah, it's the old reason. Is Eric doing good? No, okay, I don't care, Buffalo. Better treat him right, though.
Yeah.
No, poor Eric Comrie.
Yeah, he got 8 games.
Oh, he got 8
2
games.
goals, 1 assist.
Good for
Come on,
him.
I know things.
Yeah.
+3 on the Sabres.
Not
bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Considering how bad that team has been in the past.
So, you just... Obviously, he'll be there this year. He can't
Yeah.
go back to college.
No.
So...
Yeah, but we got a full
6'6".
season of Owen Power.
Yeah, it'll be interesting
he's
to
a
watch.
big boy. Like, people...
He and Eric Comrie are going to be the best of friends.
I hope so. But I've heard... well, since we're talking Owen Power, somebody compared him to Chris Pronger. It's like,
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to predict defensemen. All right, what's your bold prediction for the Jets this upcoming season?
Okay, I thought long and hard about this one. Again, we're talking bold predictions here, so don't come at me for this. Jets are going to be second in the Central.
Second in the
They're
Central.
going from, what were they?
Fifth.
Fifth? They're going from 5th to 2nd. I know they haven't made a ton of moves, but they have the pieces there. They just need to figure out how those pieces fit together. I think they got a good coach, and I think that will really power them forward. So yeah, I'm saying it might be a little bold, but they're definitely making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It's Colorado's obviously going to be first. I'm saying Jets are second.
Jets are second.
Yeah.
I respect that.
What's yours?
Mine? I was... This isn't bold, but I was like, Kyle Connor. He's going to go for 53 goals.
53?
53. He's going
I'll
to
say 55.
Well, so
I'll take the over on 53.
Interesting. I like it. Again, respect it. But I was thinking... It's not even... Again, not bold. Which is like, I thought they were going to hit 3rd in the Central, but they're going to get all the way to the Western Conference Finals and get defeated by the Falames.
Oh, you think Jets are beating Colorado?
Yeah. I think Colorado's going to be walking in there. They're going to get through the first round A-OK, and then they're going to get stopped by the Jets in the 3rd round. I think
You think the Flames, after losing 200-point players, are going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
I wrote about this at Flames Nation earlier this week, my first article. Thanks for me for being a sellout. But I said that the Flames were going to be 3rd in the Pacific, and then they were going to beat the Oilers in the 2nd round. That is my prediction for them, and I think that the Jets can get themselves to the Stanley Cup, or the Flames can get themselves to the Stanley Cup final. And
I don't see the Flames beating the Oilers. I think the Oilers retooled. I think they have a more reliable goalie.
I think the Oilers are getting a little cocky about over the Flames right now, and just the way that
they have reason to be.
Oh, they do. They have earned the right to be the cocky bastards of Alberta. But I'm at that point where I'm like, I think you guys are a little bit too sure of yourselves. You wrecked the Flames in 5 games.
Vancouver's going to come out of nowhere and win the Pacific.
Oh.
That's not happening.
I do think that Vancouver's going to pull 2nd in the Pacific, though.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're thinking Canadian team.
3 Canadian teams. I don't know
about that.
It's a bold prediction, but yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
That's what we're here for.
It's the dog days of summer. We got to come up with something.
Yeah. But I also think that Blake Wheeler is going to be above a point a game this season.
I think that's not even that bold of a prediction. Like, he wasn't far off last year.
I think it was like 0.96 last year. But I think he's got something to prove this year. Like, I don't know. I've got this gut feeling that Blake Wheeler's just going to be in a...
Let's hope so.
I hope so, too.
He's 60 points in 65 games. That's not far off. And I get he's going to be 36 this year, but, I mean, last year was a weird year. I think it was an anomaly for the team, and...
Well, it's so strange because guys had like good point production years, and then it's just like, what happened on the back end where we stopped trying and stopped winning games? It's a very frustrating thing to look at with the Jets.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of going back watching some games earlier this week, and one thing I noticed was during that 5-game losing streak right before Pomo left, it was just like, I think that was the time when the Jets kind of lost it. And they went on a 5-game losing skid, lost 7-1 on American Thanksgiving to Minnesota. The next night, they defeated the Calgary Flames and then lost to the Arizona Coyotes 1-0. And that 1-0 loss was the day that the Jets lost the course.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that's the day that I could...
Well, they came up against such a hot goalie. That 1-0 loss, they had like 60 shots.
It was stupid.
Like this goalie just came out of nowhere. And
he would only show up against the Jets. That was the frustrating thing about that guy. Like, didn't even have a photo on NHL.com. Just some scrub from like...
Just owned the Jets.
Yeah. He was like, nah, you guys aren't going to score. And that ruined the entire Jets season. But... yeah,
you're not completely wrong.
It's just frustrating when you look at those numbers. You're like, everyone on paper had kind of a good year.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Connor's going over 100 next year.
You think so?
I do.
I don't think he was going to go for over 100.
Well,
like 50 some odd goals, absolutely. I don't know about his assist production.
He had 46 assists last year.
Yeah, 46 assists. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was.
He had 93 points last year, and he had some times like he was on a roll. And then there were either games pushed back because of COVID or he got COVID or something happened.
Yeah.
Where it kind of threw him, like he was putting up like 2 points a game and then something happened that kind of like threw him off his rhythm. So I think he's going over 100 next year. I think Scheifele will be again second in points for the team, but I bet he's closer to like 85, 90-ish. I think he'll be better next year. New system, he's going to be hopefully more defensive, not minus 17 on the year.
Yeah, and I think Rick Bowness doesn't have that fear to like just go sit.
No, absolutely not. It seems like he's going to, coach the team.
Yeah, rather than just be buddies and be like, all right, getting my paychecks, hanging out with Mark and Blake. Just seeing.
I guess his best year is 84, so maybe 85 is little, especially with more of a defensive scheme. I do still think, even with the defensive scheme, Kyle Connor's going to put up 100.
You know what? I think Mark Scheifele's going to be pushing 95. I think 95. I think so.
Only if he and Connor play together. You're not going to have 200-point players on different lines.
He only hits 95 if he plays a full 82 season.
Well, yeah.
Like, obviously.
He's not getting it in 60 games.
No. But if he can pull off a full season, I fully believe, I'm kind of in that expectation. It's like, you got to get 90-some-odd points there, Mark.
Yeah.
I get that he's only getting paid, 7 schmil, but, go earn that next paycheck, buddy. Go pull up Blake Wheeler and go get yourself paid $8 million for, 5 years when you're too old for that.
Scheifele's only making 6.1.
6.1?
6.125.
I thought he was 7.1, so...
Nope, that's Connor. That's Connor's 7.1.
So, yeah, just prove to the NHL that you don't need to make a ton of money to be the best, and then go get yourself paid way too much money in the back half of your career. Cause
there you go.
That's what I believe in.
Get the attitude together.
Yeah. I
think rein it in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to be a big... he's Ontario. So,
don't be whiny.
Yeah. That's why we rip on Ontarians. They're a little whiny. Not Thunder Bay Ontarians. You guys are cool, but Eastern Ontario.
That's close enough to Manitoba.
Yeah, you guys are with us. We like you. You just, instead of having that big weird Y at the top of the province, just cut it down. Yeah, give us Thunder Bay.
And Kenora.
We really want Kenora, but we'll take Thunder Bay.
Shout out the Thistles. Okay.
Okay.
Just a little off track.
Just a lot off track.
What were we talking about there?
Bold predictions. Yeah. I didn't have really...
Oh, we got into some point stuff.
Yeah, we got some point stuff. I still think that Larry's going to hit 12 fights this season. I don't
know.
I think so.
In this age of the NHL?
There was a couple guys that broke 15 last year.
Yeah, but Lowry's not going to be one of the main fighters in the NHL.
He had 8 last year.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, fighting hurts at the same time, so...
Yeah, I don't want to see a guy fight 12 times.
That's fair.
And Lowry's a pretty important piece.
Yeah, especially on a PK.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if you could go to one away game this season for free, where are you going?
Okay, I have 2 answers.
Okay.
One, if I could guarantee a Jets win, it would be the Leafs game on January 19th.
Nice.
Because I just want to make fun of Leafs fans. Because I've been to so many games, all the Canadian teams. Whenever you go to a Jets home game, and it's not as bad when you go west, but Montreal, Toronto, there's so many visiting team fans, and just hearing them cheer in our rink always sucks. So I'd love to just be that asshole in Toronto's rink with the Jets running up the score, just cheering so hard. If I can't, I don't want to watch a Jets loss in Toronto. So if I can't choose the outcome, the Coyotes game on October 28th, it's their first game in the 5,000 seat rink. And I think it would be hilarious to be there.
Just be one of the 40%.
But I want to be in the student section.
Oh man, that student section.
That's like sweet. An NHL team having a student section is pretty sick.
This is one thing that I've heard like they do in like Europe is they have these sections where you can like really be into the game and you're like cheering and doing like these chants all game long. It gets the rest of the rink together and everyone's stoked about it. I don't know why the Jets, like, I know we're the loudest rink in the league.
No, that's not really feasible in North America.
It's
lame. Or at least not in hockey.
I think it could be
feasible.
You know what? If you had a section dedicated to the loud fans, you're just like, all right, you guys are in 305. Like you're in the upper level, but you guys are the energy crowd.
But how do you work out those season tickets? Like,
it just people are just like, I want to buy. You tell them it's like this is your section. You are not allowed to complain to the security around here. Like,
I don't know. You're spending a couple $100 for Jets tickets here.
Get into it.
I don't think. I think that's not feasible at all.
We got to go to Europe and go see how they.
I'd love to do it. Yeah, because it's soccer games.
Oh, nice.
And they have like.
No, but
40,000 people.
No, we're not talking soccer. We're talking like actual hockey rinks in Europe.
Okay, so there's like 100 people there.
No,
so
you have not seen the stuff, Sam. Like it's
I've been to an Edinburgh Capitals game when the fourth Stahl brother was playing on the team. I'm not kidding.
All right, and they just didn't get into it.
No, because it's hockey in Europe. No one cares.
I don't know. I've seen videos of them like just chanting, losing their minds. It's like the Liga is just
okay. So I guess once
like
you
the
get
Finns
to
know how to party.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I don't think it would work in a North American rink.
We gotta be better in this on this continent.
Sure, but
I'm just saying, I don't know if it works for college football down in the States. Why can we not get like the same?
Because that's student sections.
Yeah,
but we don't really have, at least in Winnipeg, there isn't really like that big. Like you don't even get that at a Bison's football game.
That's true. Well,
I think it would be possible at a Bombers game, but that's just the rum hut.
Yeah.
So
really, I just want to see some like hype action from the fans. I don't know how it would happen. It's just something I want to believe in.
I think that's just a deep playoff run. You get the whole rink doing that.
Yeah, but it's different when you got one section that's jumping the entire time chanting.
Wouldn't it be better to have the whole rink doing it?
Yeah. But I mean, you get this.
I just like poking holes in your theory.
No, but it's gonna work.
Someone's got to bring you back to earth.
No, I'm too far gone. I'm gonna believe in my nonsense. If I was a billionaire, the amount of stuff I would do if I owned a NHL team just to like make me.
It would just be the Danbury Trashers.
It would literally
of the NHL.
Yeah, it'd be nonsense. If people were like, we can't keep this guy around. You're like, too bad. I'm a rich asshole who owns a hockey team. You can't stop me. Did you ever watch that docu?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah, well, I wouldn't have referenced it if I didn't know what it was.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you knew about it, but you didn't know. If you haven't seen the Danbury...
it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Crime and Penalties, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Really good.
Super cool.
After you listen to this podcast and then all our old podcasts twice, then go in.
But also tell everyone about this podcast, especially your aunties.
Okay, we're off the rails.
We're so far off. This is summer. This is the content you're getting. I couldn't promise you anything good. For me personally, if I could go to one other team's barn, it's either I want to go to Smashville just because that'd be fun. Yeah. I also want to go to Calgary. I've been to one Calgary Edmonton game.
Wait till they get a better ring.
No, I love how shitty the Saddle Dome is, and I just love chirping Flames fans. So
I did have two others. Vegas, I think would be cool to go to. And the Kraken. I want to see their rink. It looks cool.
It looks super sweet. Like everything I've seen about that one is awesome. I'd like to go. Okay, again, I like my northern climate, so I'm like, take me to Minnesota. I want to go drive down there. Go pull a Matt Hendricks minus playing for the other team.
Oh, love Matt Hendricks. Oh, what a guy.
I know. It's like.
Oh, you know what we should talk about? Mark Stewart. How about that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Good on an NHL bench.
Good for Mark Stewart.
Unreal.
And, like, the fact he's helping the Oilers out. I mean, that helps my whole cause out, too. So, it's like, listen, I love the Jets, but the Oilers are my home team. I bleed copper and blue till I die. Well, I'll talk about the Jets.
What have I gotten myself into?
I know, right? Hanging out with an Oilers fan. Shame on you. Shame on me for selling out
twice. At least one of us is a true Jets fan.
Yeah. I like the Jets. They're fun to watch. But yeah, no, I want to go see a Minnesota game because when I didn't like the Jets and I was just some punk ass from Alberta that was living here, I got tickets to a preseason game between the Wild and the Jets. I wore a Jets jersey, and I was cheering for Minnesota the entire time. That's how backwards I was once upon a time. Yeah. Well, I was trying to
once upon a time.
There was a time when I hated the Jets, and I was just a big sourpuss. Like, Manitoba sucks. It's not great. It's not Alberta. And now it's like, I love this place. I could never leave it. You'll have to, if you're gonna take me out.
We got one.
Yeah, you guys got one. Now, if I can figure out how to round up another 100 Albertans and bring them out here, if we can figure out, you don't really want that many. No, so once we get together,
we're good.
Yeah, we just need one Albertan. Okay, what was your favorite hockey moment at a live game?
This one, I had to think hard about this one. I have talked about Bufflin absolutely ragdolling Gadzik before. That was cool. But then I remembered I was in the building for Laine's first career goal. It was, the Jets were down 4-1 against Carolina. It was the season opener, his first year. Just an electric game. Like, it was dead in the rink, and then the Jets started scoring. I think Laine got the third, and Jets ended up winning 5-4 in overtime. And then I went back and looked at some of the other games around there, because I remembered there were a couple big comebacks. 6 days later, I wasn't in the rink for this one, sadly, but I've watched it a dozen times. I could take you through the exact goal, but 6 days later, they were down 4-0 to the Leafs at home. Came back. Laine had 2 in the third period to push it to overtime. In overtime, Matthews comes down on Hutchinson. Hutch makes the stop. Bufflin grabs the puck, fires it to Laine. 2-on-1, Laine and Ehlers. Laine goes far side, top shelf for the hat trick to win the game after Matthews had gotten robbed by our backup goalie. It was just so perfect. So, in the building, I'd say Laine's first career goal was sick because it was just like, it was from his spot. It was a laser. I think it was like far side, maybe posting in. And then that 6 days, like not even a week later, the first career hat trick. Oh, beautiful.
Sick. Man, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I was in the building for his first hat trick. So he's going to get sent down, and then he scored this hat trick against Vancouver. The Oilers ended up losing anyways, but just hearing Rexall Place just like get a little bit more excited, and then lose their minds for the Nuge. Simply phenomenal. And there's another one. Tobias Reeder played for the Oilers. Could not score a goal the year he played with Edmonton, and I was at a game against the Sharks. The Oilers were long out of the playoffs at this point. Leon Draisaitl had scored 2 goals. He was trying to get his hat trick, but everyone just chanting, "Toby, score now!" And just like, I loved it because it was like, oh, poor Tobias Reeder. Everyone's just hoping he can score 1 this season.
That reminds me of one of my least favorite in-person hockey memories. So I think it was like start of 2019. I was down in the States with my family. We went to a Ducks-Jets game in Anaheim. It was sick. Goes to a shootout. Paul Maurice rolls out good old Matt Hendricks for the shootout. Doesn't score. Jets lose. So that sucked.
Oh, Matt Hendricks. We both love you.
I mean, just the offensive firepower the Jets had on their team.
Yeah,
and he puts in, I'm pretty sure it was Matt Hendricks. It was someone who had absolutely no business being on the ice for that.
Good old Pomo bringing out his veterans over his young skill guys.
That's the Pomo way.
Yeah, you can't have anything better than just choosing the old
Matt Hendricks, he was on the team that year, but no, I don't know. It was someone who should not have been going in the shootout over some of the other guys on the team. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's fair. We're talking about this a little bit earlier. If you could undo one Chevy trade, which one would it be?
This was the easiest question you had all day.
Good.
It was the Kevin Hayes trade. That was, like, at the time, I was pumped because I was stupid. But, like, we had, the year before was when the Jets traded for Stastny, and it worked out so well. So it's like, oh yeah, we traded for another good center. It's going to work out again. Little did I know, we gave up Brendan Lemieux, who I did like when he was on the Jets, that good old biter. So they gave up Brendan Lemieux, the first-round pick, which we ended up getting back, which was Billy, and a fourth-round pick for a guy that ended up playing on our fourth line half the time. And I don't think the Jets used Hayes well, but also, like, he just didn't play well at all. So that, by far, would be, like, the one. I think Chevy's made some good trades.
Yeah, we were looking at all of this beforehand.
Yeah. It was tough to find, like, multiple where it's like, I really wish we could have had that back right at that time, like trading away Armia, but you had to get rid of that Mason contract. There are some that were like questionable trades for picks and stuff, but it was just like picks back and forth for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, there's that Logan Stanley
one. That one was pretty tough. They moved up 4 spots to pick Logan Stanley. Quite frankly, probably could have gotten him 4 spots back.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might have heard from other teams they were going to pick him. But to move up that 4 spots, they moved from the second to the third round, like 46 spots or 43 spots down or something, which is nuts for a guy who we're now like, maybe get rid of him.
Yeah. You can't teach 6'7", though.
You can't teach that height. And Chevy likes his big defenseman.
He does.
So.
I've been watching a lot of hockey fights because I start doing this thing on TikTok where it's just like, hey, watch this hockey fight. And then TikTok's super soft and like, yeah, no, you can't be showing hockey fights. But it's like, let's watch some Logan Stanley fights. I've been wrong about how...
I told you.
Yeah, I know. Apparently you're right about a lot of things.
Yeah, you need to start listening to me more.
He does hold him out a lot, but he was beating up...
Yeah, because his arms are 4 feet long and no one can reach him.
That's true. But like he's just beating up Zach McEwen, who's like 3 inches shorter than him, but just like ragdolling the guy. Like, holy,
he's got some grit.
He does.
Doesn't know how to teach 6'7".
You can't teach 6'7".
Oh.
If only we could teach that guy to skate and.
His skating's gotten a lot better.
It has. It just, I don't know.
Hopefully we can teach him to like be smarter.
Yeah, and just like fire the puck, like just. Let him.
Why not? He's got a cannon.
He does.
Take him.
Even if he misses every time, it's like at least have some fear in the goaltender.
Mm-hmm. Now, so I say the Hayes trade, but that did start a pretty good relationship between the Jets and the Rangers, where they've made some good trades back and forth. The Trouba, we got that Billy pick back at the end of that year, and Pionk. That was a great trade for the Jets. And it worked out really well for the Rangers, too, because Trouba's been unreal there. But Villy and Pionk for Trouba, unreal. The Copp trade, we got Morgan Barron. And
a first.
Yeah, Morgan Barron and Brad Lambert and Elias Solomon.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
And
it worked out for them because they got a good second round. They're like
they got
second line center.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. Unfortunately, didn't keep them around, but I can't believe how many trades Kevin Cheveldayoff has won. Like, when I wrote this question, like, there's got to be a couple that we've been mad about. And it's like, yeah, hindsight would be easier to be mad about this, but for the most part, Cheveldayoff wins trades.
I go all the way back to the Kane-Bogosian trade. So Bogosian, Kane, and Jason Kastorf for Joel Armia, who ended up being great for the Jets. Tyler Myers, who was great for the Jets, Drew Stafford, Brendan Lemieux, Jack Roslovic.
Huge win.
The Jack Roslovic pick. But, like, I remember hearing stories that in the Jets, like, front office, when Buffalo said yes to that trade, they were saying, start the car. Like, we're robbing these guys blind. Start the car, let's get out of here. And...
yeah, the fact that the Jets didn't get fleeced on that trade is amazing because, like...
I don't know. I think Buffalo was just in love with Kane.
Yeah.
Like, that was just a hockey deal. It was mid-February.
And I think
good players going each way. Not a lot of picks.
No, and I just think, like, a lot of that was the fact that they just wanted to get rid of Kane. But I thought that somebody would have just been like, we'll give you guys a second rounder for this cancer. But again, we didn't know how bad things were going to get with Vander there. So
yeah, and like, I mean, how do you trade away a defenseman that won the Calder? Like, this was a few years, like 4 or 5, whatever, however many years later. But like, that was surprising.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like, I don't even remember hearing that as an Oilers fan, being like, wow.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Chevy's made some good trades.
I think that's really what's kept his career here in Winnipeg for so long is the fact that he just doesn't lose trades.
Yeah.
Even when it looks like he's lost, it's like, nope, pulled a rabbit out of the hat. So whoever's giving him all these tips on how good players actually are in the NHL, that guy actually deserves a raise. Thank you, scouts. You know what? I like. There's still something that's like, I wish we could undo the Line trade. Like, I wish we could have just made that work.
I also wish they could have made Line work. I think ultimately, if there weren't problems in the room, he was good to be in Winnipeg his whole career.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is one that. But that's not really Chevy's fault. That was a bad situation that he did make, like, a decent situation out of it. It sucks that PLD might be leaving, but they got Zilkin this draft as well. So and Roslovic wasn't going to do anything for the Jets. Like, they gave him opportunities, he didn't use them. So I don't have much of an issue with that trade at all.
Yeah.
I do wish, sometimes there's things where I wish they had made a trade when they didn't. I think you could have robbed a team absolutely blind for Brendan Dillon at the trade deadline this year. And I like Dillon, but we all knew, everyone except for Kevin Cheveldayoff knew the Jets weren't going on a deep run. And I think they probably could have even, I hate to say it, even could have traded Paul Stastny to someone.
And just got
for the end of the year, got a couple picks or something.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and he didn't even have that bad of a contract. Like, 3 schmil is...
Well, and the Jets could have retained for the remainder of the year if they were just getting picks back.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand how Chevy didn't see the writing on the wall. Like, everyone knew it.
I don't know if it was, like, management telling them don't, but, like, I don't know. Yeah. It does make a ton of sense. But I do like... They traded Kopp, which they had to.
Yeah.
Which I guess was their version of saying, okay, we realize this isn't happening. I wish they wouldn't have had to trade Nathan Smith away. He's going to be a really good player, but giving him away got rid of Brian Little's contract, which is nice. But yeah, just Nathan Smith's going to be really good, but he didn't want to be in Winnipeg. So ultimately, you gotta move him before he just walks away, because I think he could have walked away this year or next year.
Okay.
If he hadn't signed.
Yeah. He's another American guy, is he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing college this year. I think he was a finalist for the Hobey Baker, if I'm not mistaken. He's from Tampa.
Florida giving us some players more and more these days.
Oh, he signed with Arizona. Okay, so he did sign with Arizona. But I do believe that he would have been able to just walk from the Jets had he not. He had 4 points in 10 games. Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really, really good player going forwards.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one as well. Well, that's all for my question. You got anything else? Cause,
No. I mean, again, it's the middle of the summer. The Jets really haven't done that much. I do like they have to have a move coming unless they just want to hold on to cap space in case they're in. Because when you're under the cap, I think you accrue it throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So that if they do hold on to some cap space and are in a playoff spot down the road, they would be able to trade for a guy with a contract. Like so many times at the trade deadline, you have to throw like Arizona some picks to take some of the cap space. This year it might be Anaheim. I think they're trying to get to the floor. They just got to the floor with that Klingberg signing, but I think having a bit of cap space, if you feel confident enough that this group that you have, without that one more UFA signing that might not be the guy, if you want to hold on to that cap space, you think you can get close enough or like into a playoff spot come the trade deadline, and then you can trade for a piece like how their season's gone. I think that might be a better option than just overpaying for a UFA that might pan out. So,
but we're getting to that point. Let's just say some of these guys get injured this year. Like, we always know that Nick Ehlers is going to get hurt for at least 20 games of the season.
Don't even say that. Don't bring that into existence.
It's just this,
my boy Nicky.
We love Nicky Ehlers here.
Absolutely love him.
Oh, he's a saint. He was the first Jets jersey I bought. But like, you're guaranteed going to miss 20 games with Nicky Ehlers.
Not 20. He's played a couple 82-game seasons.
Yeah, but what was
the last couple have been tough.
Yeah.
Well, this 2020, 21, he played 47, but there were only 56 that year.
Yeah.
He played 2 years he's missed more than
Okay.
11 games.
Okay, it just feels like the last 2 years.
It was
Because it's been the last 2 years.
last year he missed 20.
Yeah.
And then his 4th year in the league, he missed 20. Other than that...
He's been good?
Oh, wait, no. The 2019-2020 year got cut short. He played every game that year.
Yeah, he did. Okay, well then never mind. I take back my statement. But let's say when guys get hurt, like, who are we going to depend on? Like,
there is a lot of depth.
There's a lack of depth, it seems like.
Yeah, I said isn't a lot.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I heard there is.
No worries. I didn't say it very clearly. Yeah, there is a definite lack of depth. That could be an issue, but you might have some young guys that step up.
Oh,
like you might, a top 6 guy goes down. Morgan Barron very well could.
He's gonna be a second.
If you give him that chance, I don't know. There might be some young guys who can step up, but I don't think there's that many that can play in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
So you might still need to sign that one more Phil Kessel that's going to like play on the 3rd line. He's good for 82.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you give him a pack of hot dogs and a Costco membership, he's mint.
He's good for 82 games every single year. Knock on wood. So like maybe you do get that one more guy who can play on the 3rd line for now, and then if he can step into a top 6 role if need be.
Okay, can we talk about a hypothetical that I kind of just thought of?
Okay,
3rd line.
Is it going to involve Jesse Puljujärvi?
No, not at all. I
first.
Listen, I want Yessi, but we're going to leave that alone. Okay, 3rd line of Larry, Kessel, and Wheeler. Like, how sick
so
would that
who's top 6 then?
Yeah, put Appleton into the top 6 there.
I don't think Appleton's that guy.
I think he is. I think he's
I'd rather see Morgan Barron in the top 6.
Okay, that's fair.
If I'm being honest.
Either way, one of those 2 guys gets himself up into that top role.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, like that 3rd line of just thick boys.
And I'm okay with spreading it out a bit too. I don't like a lot of good teams don't just like front load their forwards. No. They kind of spread it out throughout. So I think adding one or more UFA, especially maybe a right-handed,
which is
right
what the
winger,
Jets desperately need.
I don't think that would be a bad thing, but you just need to figure out how they fit into that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's going to be the tough thing, is just figuring out where guys fit, because it's like that top 9 it feels very loaded. Like not in a Tampa Bay sense, but as like a.
I mean, Adam Lowry as your 3rd line center, like that's
good.
He's shut down.
Yeah, I mean, if he was your 4th line center, you've got a super sick team.
Sign Nazem Kadri, and
way
he's
too
still
much
available for way too much money. Yeah, that would be worth it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, let's go get Phil the Thrill. Y'all know that he's the guy.
Sonny Milano, Phil the Thrill, round out the forward group.
There you go. Just sign both those guys for your 2 mil each.
Easy.
Super easy. It's going to be great.
Beautiful.
Just let us be GMs there, Kevin. Just
That's
call
a terrible
us up.
idea.
It's going to be great. I promise you. No, I'm bringing Jesse Puljujärvi.
We don't know anything.
That's why we have an analytics department. We are the analytics department. Oh no.
we have Hockey DB open on my computer. That's our analytics department.
This guy's got a decent Corsi for. I think we got to bring him in. Oh boy. Yeah, Hockey DB, it's the answer.
Always.
Yeah, that's why you guys listen to us, because we just know Hockey DB.
Nothing like just straight numbers.
Just pure numbers. That's the analytics that you need in the NHL these days.
Absolutely.
You can't be watching guys play. That's a rookie move. Yeah, that's all I got to this week.
Absolutely.
Anything else from you?
That's it from me. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, make sure you tell everyone about this podcast. We appreciate the 18 of you who have tuned in weekly. Big shout out to you, 18.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks to Pete for listening and giving us critiques.
There you go.
Yeah. So next week we'll be a little bit more prepared. We were a little bit busy this weekend, but this was a fun little off-season podcast.
Oh yeah, we went off the rails.
We did.
Who doesn't love that?
If you enjoy Off the Rails podcast, this is the one that you suggest to everyone.
There you go.
There we go. All right, enjoy your week there, friends, and talk to you again next week.